Hey everybody, Seth Keep It Real, and Alan in his $15 million office. How are you guys doing today?
Hello guys.
This is so funny, Alan, because you were just now live on Just When I'm Espanol, and
Yes.
I was now live on Instagram. I don't think we stopped, man. It's like we hustled, we jumped to the right room, and boom, here we are again.
A couple of busy bees. That's good, man.
So if you guys haven't checked it out yet, you need to. If you speak Spanish, habla usted español, then mucho gusto en conocerlo, amigo. It's important that you go to search Just When I'm Espanol. There's a full-on tons of videos training on arbitrage, private label, Amazon by David Lopez. You're going to see Alan in many of those videos. So check it out if you guys haven't. And if you guys are not on Instagram, you guys don't know this, every day during the week, Monday through Friday, I go live right here teaching Amazon private label and answering questions anywhere from like 15 minutes. Yesterday was over an hour. So every freaking day, Monday through Friday at 11:30, you go to Instagram.com/SethKneep. You'll find it there. You can join and check that out because you guys are missing out on a ton of free content if you haven't been there. But Alan, thank you so much for being here today, brother.
Hey man, I'm excited and ready to share some information and some knowledge with everybody. So
yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
Guys, what we're going to focus on today is something I know a lot of us struggle with, and that is if I have a product and I want to sell it on Amazon doing arbitrage, how do I know if it will sell? So what we're going to do is we're going to take you through something that is called a lead, or some people call it a leads list. We're going to take two products. We're going to give these to you, these ideas. You guys can go source them immediately if you want for Amazon.com. But we're going to share these ideas with you for free to show you not only an example of what to do, but we're going to look at these as sort of like a demo. I think that Alan and I figured one of the best ways to teach you is not just give you the principles, but we'll look at an actual product and analyze that. And then after we're done with that, I'm going to jump over here to the chat and we'll answer as many questions as we have time for. I have an interview after this shortly, so we'll have to wrap it up pretty quick after that. All right, so Alan, brother, the mic is yours, man. You want to take us through it?
All right, man. So first I wanted to talk about the benefits of using a lead list because a lot of people, when they're starting up, just the idea of getting leads, it's sometimes it can be a little bit scary. So for me, the benefits and why do you get a lead list? One is to save time. At the beginning, you're gonna start scanning products and analyzing products, and sometimes it takes a lot of time to get to start finding products and get very good at finding products. So that's gonna save you some time if you have a way to get leads already research and ready for you to analyze and decide if you want to buy those kind of products.
Yep.
The second thing is it gives you ready to source products. So instead of you spending maybe 3-4 hours a day, or sometimes if you're doing arbitrage and you're going to the stores, for 6 hours a day, and you hear those stories that I was in the store for 6 hours and I scanned almost everything. I didn't find anything. So we try to use this kind of lead list to be able to get some products right away and start sourcing products and sending products to Amazon.
I want to jump in real quick, Alan, on this. So guys, when you have a leads list, and there's multiple places you can get these, always ask this question. If I am getting a leads list, I'm paying for a leads list. In other words, other people are researching these products. They're getting a bunch of data on the products. They give it to me, and now I can go and source. If it's going to make you money, a lot more money than what you're spending on the leads list, you should do it. If it's not going to make you more money, you shouldn't do it. But the idea is this: you want to make sure anytime you spend money on anything that it's worth it, like it's profitable. One of the questions, Josiah, my business partner, and I ask all the time, and we'll write it right here in this chalkboard, is it profitable? Will it make money? Because if it doesn't make money, it's sucking life out of the business, and that's not creating more margin and time to do the things I love with the people I love. So look at it that way. And while we do this, guys, we're going to analyze, we're going to show you two products on Amazon, and we're going to show you the criteria we use when doing Amazon arbitrage. Back to you, Alan.
All right. So another thing that it's that it's a benefit is that it gives you ideas of where to buy. Sometimes it's gonna be hard at the beginning if you're just going to the same 2-3 stores and not finding anything. And if you get a lead list and then you start finding out that there's other stores, and really if you look at online, you have over 350 different websites that you can find products to sell on Amazon. So you're always gonna find new stores. But having this is gonna give you those ideas of where else to buy or what other stores to buy. And for me, the one thing that helped me when I started my Amazon business was I was able to scale a lot faster because I had enough time to just get a list of leads and buy, and then keep doing other things that I needed to do. So this is gonna give you the ability to scale if you want to scale higher.
And this is important, you guys, when he talks about ideas of where to buy. I noticed Mark Anthony English, good to see you, brother. You mentioned you're in Georgia. My video editor actually is in Georgia, not the state, but the country. I noticed we have Ian and Marion from England. We have Global Tech from Morocco. So we have people, Krista in Las Vegas. We have people from all over the world here. You can do this from your home if you're sourcing online. In other words, the idea of a leads list is not you're driving out and going to stores. Now, I think my wife, Alan, forever will still do that because she loves to do that. Yeah. And there's something special about like touching and seeing the products before you buy them. And that's awesome. And it gives you good experience. But you can do it from your computer. You can source online and have everything done from your computer. And all it is just a matter of numbers. If I buy it at this price, get it shipped to Amazon for this, I know my profit margin, I wait for it to sell, I make money. It's not as easy as that, but it is as simple as that when you break it down.
Right. So let me give you my number 5. It's you will find profitable leads, and that's the main thing for me. As long as you can buy 2, 3, 4 items every day, and they're profitable, you have enough profit, and you start building your inventory, you're gonna start making sales. I was just with David, and he was giving the testimony of his mother-in-law. She just started buying products, and she got her first shipment on Amazon last week, and within the first 3 days, she started getting some sales. So once you start having sales on having inventory on Amazon, you're gonna start having sales. But if you keep, if it takes you 2 or 3 weeks for you to learn and understand and find products, at the beginning it's gonna take a lot longer. But if you have this way of getting leads and getting profitable leads, you're gonna start moving faster.
And that's something key about arbitrage, everyone. One of you guys asked, I think it was Krista, says, is online arbitrage still worth it? Isn't private label better? And I love the question because it's a really honest, good question. Private label long-term can make you more money passively, but it also requires a bigger investment up front. If you guys are struggling with enough cash to actually spend enough money to launch a product that can scale, then arbitrage gives you a much easier entry point, because you could literally start with $100 and you buy $75 worth of goods, and you sell those and you turn that into $200, and you sell those and you turn it into $400, and then $800, then $1,600, then $3,200, and before you know it, you're in the hundreds of thousands. Literally, I don't use that term loosely at all. You can do that, and as Alan said, it gives you the ability to scale. And one more thought on this, Alan. I think this is so important for all of us because we're all running businesses, learning how to do business. There's a second question you should ask: fastest path to cash when you make a decision. But what is the most profitable path to cash? So I want to be profitable, that's key. But I also want to go quickly. So if it saves you time and you're looking through a whole bunch of products and you're trying to say, man, is this going to be profitable? If those are given to your business, you're taking the risk, it'll speed you up. And the faster you move forward on that, the more income you have, the more you can scale your business and grow. That's the idea behind a leads list. And guys, I'm not just speaking for the leads list just when dime offers, just so you know, there's many of them out there, but so many questions come in about this topic. We felt like, man, this is an awesome opportunity to teach about them and then use that to evaluate a product to know if it's going to sell.
Right. And I always think about arbitrage as a bridge to do a private label, because my main goal is do private label. It's a lot passive, it's more passive, and you can have a lot more profits. But arbitrage is going to be a quick way to start generating cash flow, start building some savings. And sometimes if you scale up to a good size business, you can fund your private label products just by just with the profits that you get from arbitrage.
A lot of people do that. In fact, a lot of people, I thought it would be reversed. A lot of people jump into private label, then they say, you know what, I need more cash to keep going. So then they do arbitrage, and that not only it does two things. Not only does it give them cash quickly to feed their business, because your business needs money. It's like your child. If you don't feed them, they die. Your business needs money. If you don't feed it money, it dies. It needs cash flow as soon as you can. Arbitrage lets you do that. Then as that grows, you take that, and now you start investing in individual, thoroughly researched, differentiated products, and each of those can become massive cash bringers, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, $100,000, because those were deeply searched in their private label. But your arbitrage sort of like gave you the lift off to get there. And I just really quick, I want to congratulate LK1 M88, 9 weeks on Amazon, $1,400 profit in the last 18 days. So congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, man. So let me give you some recommendations when you're analyzing product leads. Regardless of which list it is or which list you're using, these are things that you're gonna need. You want to make sure that you cover every time that you're doing you're analyzing. Always double check the average rank for the last 90 days. Don't just go by what the rank that the product has today, because sometimes that rank might vary every day. You want to see the average that product is having for the last 3 months. And that's why I base my decision. If I see that the last 3 months is a good rank, is a good average, then that's going to be a good item for me.
Right.
The next one is when you're buying from another store, you always want to check that the product has the same model, the same UPC, same pictures, everything that you can double check to make sure that you're selling you're going to be selling the same product. Because sometimes it happens that you see the product is at a good price in another store, you buy it, you send it to Amazon, and then it turns out that it was the wrong model, or it was you look at the picture and it was missing something. So you want to make sure and double check all of those things before you buy it and send it to Amazon.
Right.
Otherwise, sometimes you get people upset and complaining to Amazon about their experience, and you can get in trouble for that. Make sure to include shipping to the cost of your product, so you can calculate the profit accurate. So I always, when I'm analyzing products, I always add 80 cents per pound or $1.25 to the price of the product, so I can have enough room there for the shipping that I'm gonna have to pay from my house to Amazon, or from my prep center to Amazon. So it's always a good idea to add a little bit more to the price of the product, so you can have that, so you can cover for that expense.
Right.
And then also check how many other sellers are in the listing, and how hard is the competition. Meaning, if let's say if you see that there's 25 sellers on that listing, but there's only 3 or 4 sellers that have the same price that you're going to be selling, then the competition is not hard. Even though there's 25 sellers on that listing. But if you check and all of them have the same price and you have 25 sellers, that's going to be a hard competition, because you have to compete with everybody. And maybe if you end up sharing the buy box, you have to share the buy box with a lot of people. So you might not sell as quick as if you only have 2, 3 competitors. So it's always a good idea to make sure that how many sellers are going to be your direct competition.
A real quick question, Alan.
Yes.
Do you have a recommendation because this question popped up here is, if it's not selling for a while, how long should I wait until I'm concerned that it's not selling? And I know that what impacts that hugely is how many other people are selling that product. So do you have a recommendation for a range of how many other sellers on that listing are selling the same product where you feel like, man, when it gets to this number, it's too many, it's not worth it? How do you evaluate that?
I try to have at least the most 10 sellers within my price range, and I know I'm going to be able to sell. The other thing that I always try to do when I'm analyzing the products, I want to see at least 30% net profit, because I'm one of the guys that if somebody drops the price and I want to move my product faster, I will drop the price and match it.
Exactly.
If I don't have enough profit, I won't be able to compete. So I have to wait for them to sell so the price comes back up. So I always try to look for that, and that's my maximum.
I just want to recap this. So if I have a product, guys, and I want to sell this chalkboard eraser, how do I know how long it should be sitting in Amazon before it sells? When should I get concerned? If it's there for 8 months, I might start getting a little nervous, like, was this even worth it? Notice two things Alan said. Number one, how many sellers? If you're looking at, for Alan, and this is going to vary, depends on the category, but if it's more than 10 sellers, you might have a problem. That's a lot of people on there to be competing with. If it's 3 or 2 or 4, not as big of a deal. Second, your profit margin. The more sellers you have, the more chance someone can drop their price. And if you sold it at that price, you don't make a profit. So if there's not too many sellers on there and your profit margins are at least 30%, it gives you some margin. So if they drop 10%, you drop down 1% below that, you still have margin to make a profit on that product. And another thing I would look at, you guys, is look at the history of the sales as well. If in the past the product sold a lot lower and just recently it spiked up, then I wouldn't get it, because it could drop again. You want to know also if it's a seasonal product. Maybe right now it's a pool product and it would sell great now, but in a couple months when the weather starts to cool, if you live north of the equator, it's not going to be selling anymore. So you need to sell it fast. See what I mean? So it's several data points you look at, you combine them, and then you make a decision based on that.
Right. All right. So the other thing, it's always, and this is going to be the one that I have to make sure you guys understand. Always make sure that you're approved to sell that item. And that's going to be an issue for a lot of new sellers, because when you open your account, there's going to be a lot of categories and brands that are going to be restricted. And a lot of people, they don't, they get too excited when they find an item that has a good rank and good profit, and they just forget to check and see if they're approved, and they send it to Amazon or they buy it, and then they figure out, oh, I cannot sell this item. So right. you have to make sure that you double check to make sure that you're approved. And this is, I know this is a big topic for a lot of people, because there's a lot of items and there's a lot of brands that are restricted. So what I did was I put together a list of all the restricted brands that I could find. So I wanted to share that with you, and I'm gonna do it a little bit fast. So don't try to write down all of the things, but I know Seth is gonna give you a cool gift. But there's a lot of brands, first of all, and don't get scared about this. This just means there's a lot of brands that you cannot sell. But if you realize on Amazon there's going to be millions of products that you're going to be able to sell, you just have to know which ones, in case you're scanning or you're browsing, which ones you cannot sell.
And if you're a brand new seller, you guys, this list 100% applies to you. But did you guys notice what PJ Smith said in the chat? She started doing arbitrage. She started experiencing and understanding Seller Central and how it works. And all of a sudden, because of a healthy account, she started getting ungated for different categories and or brands. So what happens is you build a strong reputation with Amazon, it gives you more opportunity. So you're going to start with non-brand items. And the two products that we're going to show you towards the end in a few minutes, we found ones that are as ungated as possible. In other words, if you're brand new, chances are, hopefully, it's not going to be a problem for you. And just one other question I wanted to address. Marion asked, where do I get the Seller Central scanner? It's actually Seller Central on your phone. So if you just get Amazon Seller Central on your phone, there is a camera there where you can scan items, and it'll immediately tell you, and this is to answer another question, it'll tell you guys whether or not that brand or the product category is gated based on your account. If you're logged into your account, you'll know immediately. It'll also show you the profit if you put in the shipping data correctly. Back to you, brother.
Yeah, and like you were saying, Seth, the good news is that as you start making sales and you start having that sales history, Amazon's gonna start opening up, and they're gonna start giving you access to some of the brands and in the categories. So it usually it's gonna take, depending on how many items you're selling and everything. We have people that we know that within the first 2-3 months they start getting opening up on some of the products. And then the one thing that I always recommend is every time you find something that you're restricted, request approval. And if Amazon doesn't approve it, then move on. But then if you find it again, request approval again. You're not gonna get in trouble, and chances are that the next time that you try to request approval, they're gonna approve you because now you have some sales history.
Right. Yep. Exactly. So guys, look at it as Amazon is trying to protect their customer. They don't know you if you just started, so you need to build that trust. So start small, do it well, be faithful, and then bigger opportunities open up, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you just keep growing. All of us had to start somewhere. The first item I ever sold on Amazon was a book. One of the most innocuous, simple things ever to sell. But I had to start somewhere, so I sold a whole lot of books. Then it started selling printers. Then it started selling cremation urns, and we just grew from there.
I'll show you after I stop sharing my screen. I'll show you my first item.
I would love to see it.
I also put up together a list of all the categories that Amazon has, or the ones that I was able to find, and also if Amazon will tell you if they're if you need approval or if you don't need approval. So you can see right here, for example, automotive and sport and power sports, approval required, but beauty, no, doesn't require approval anymore. And then if we keep going down the list, clothing and accessories, it doesn't require approval anymore. It used to be a restricted category. Right. Electronics, it doesn't require approval for new or use, but it might require for a specific product.
Yeah, I just had to interrupt, Alan. You guys are so lucky. We had to apply for approval for clothing and accessories, and it took a while. The first time we tried, it didn't work. The next time, it worked fast. We had to apply for that, you guys. Same thing for beauty. So, guys, Amazon isn't just becoming more and more strict. They're constantly adjusting and changing based on the market. So if I was in your shoes, I would jump into these now, because if you start selling in them and then later they close the gate on that, which they've done in the past, they'll open it and then close it, chances are it won't be closed on you because you're already selling and you have a good reputation doing that.
Yeah, you get grandfathered into that. That's what happened with me with Nike. I started selling and then they closed down the brand, and I was one of the lucky ones.
Because you got in.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is, and please don't try to write down all of this. This is a lot of information. We're just throwing at you.
We're giving you this whole slideshow, you guys. It's in the description. It's yours. You guys can have it.
Yeah, just click on the description and you have the whole document. But there's a lot of if you notice right here, there's a lot of categories. They're open now. Approval required? No. So there's a lot of products, guys. I think it's just when you're starting up, the first things that you start finding are going to be restricted, and people get they get scared and they think that everything it's gated. But you just have to keep going and just keep trying to find those good deals. So those are all the categories, and I think that's going to be a big benefit for you guys to have this data and this information. So I'm going to share with you two different leads, and we're going to analyze them, and then we're going to go to Amazon, and I'll show you how do I analyze them. Hopefully they haven't changed the numbers yet. But here's one that we found, and it's an 8-inch fry pan. That was a hard one for me. This one is we found it at Bath and Beyond for $11.24, and Amazon is selling it for $29.97. So when you look at the calculator, if you're selling it as FBA, you get $9.45 profit. Well, that's a 32% margin, which is what I'm looking for, and it's an 84% ROI. But and let's go to I'm gonna click here to go to Amazon.
Can you go back really quick? I just want to tell everyone so they know.
Yes.
What you're looking at, see the green letters? That's called Rev Seller. Rev Seller. It's an awesome tool. We're not an affiliate with them, but it's a great tool, so we recommend it. That's where how you're getting those numbers. You guys can use that when you're out there doing arbitrage.
Yes, and I'll show you that information. And I'm gonna link here to the store. So if I look at the store, Bed Bath & Beyond, $11.24. I usually try to get 2 or 3 units, enough to get free shipping. So 2-3 units is gonna give you free shipping, and then you can see right here, if you compare them, it's the same item, 8-inch, and like I said, you can go down and make sure that it's the same model and all of that. But based on the picture, it looks the same. But the one thing that I always like to check, and I use this tool, Rev Seller, is it's all of the information that I need to know as far as profit and all of that. So if I know that it's I have to pay $11.24, maybe I'm just gonna put $12 here for my shipping, and I know that I still have $8.69. It's still 29% margin profit.
Yeah.
So, and you also get all of the information, the weight, the size, and everything. So this is a lot of information that if you don't have this tool, you're gonna be able to find it, just going down and kind of browsing through all of the information. But it's very nice to just have it right here and be able to use the calculator and have all the information.
Yeah, real quick, a couple questions came about the leads list. So we're talking, just to recap, for those of you guys who just joined, we're explaining how leads lists work. And leads lists are a very effective way to de-risk yourself when doing Amazon arbitrage. The reason is researchers, expert researchers, hopefully expert researchers, depends on who you get it from, are sending you potential leads. They're showing you products are selling in Amazon, and it's showing you the profit margin. It's also showing you where you can source online. So to help you, it's like you paid someone to do research for you. It saves you time, and it helps to de-risk you, especially if you're newer at this process. Okay, that's what we're doing. So we're taking we're giving to you guys. You guys literally can go check this product out. Like, this is for you, okay? We're sharing this with you to show you an example of how to evaluate a product. And we're also explaining how leads lists work and the advantages. And yes, we do have leads lists that we offer. The maximum number of people that will have access to a leads list is 50. I know that our recent group went up to 60. Those 10 people are moved over into the second group, either as of today or tomorrow. So it reaches up to 50, then we move it over. And keep in mind, guys, private label and arbitrage are very different. So when you do arbitrage, people will buy 1, 2, 3, 10 at the most of that item, and it sells quickly. So if you have multiple people using the leads list, it's not a big deal. But if you have 500 people, yeah, that's a big deal. With private label, you're going to be much more protective because this is your baby. It's your product. You paid to have it built. With arbitrage, it's already built for you. You're sending it in so it sells. You're doing it on a listing already created for you. You don't have to worry about photos. You don't have to worry about product description. You don't even have to worry about keywords if you don't want to. It's just there for you. You already see it selling. It's like you're saying, hey, I'm going to jump onto this bandwagon and I'm going to make money quickly. That's the idea, you guys. And to answer Ohad's question, so this is for individual sellers 100%. And a third-party seller can get what's called a business account where they can sell to businesses, but they're still a third-party seller. So all of this is relevant to you, brother. And to answer Svetlana's question, yeah, Lego, many people it is. Nerf is as well, 100%. You're looking at huge brand names. What I would do is start with smaller brand names. Don't go for the big stuff. Go for the less known. There's a truth that was shared with me, and it's so true, you guys. It's one of the best advice ever given to me when I became an entrepreneur, and it's this. The riches are in the niches. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I started is I jumped And I'm not saying you couldn't do this, okay? But I jumped into one of the fastest growing industries in the US and in other parts of the world ever. And that was electronic cigarettes. It's an alternative. Instead of smoking tobacco, you're actually smoking a liquid. And the liquid is supposed to be a lot better for you and less risky. I jumped into it because I saw an opportunity. But I was doing the Me Too thing, like, oh, look, everyone else is doing it. I'm going to do it too. That's not how you make money. You find a little niche where there's a profit margin that not a lot of people are thinking about. Like, would you start, guys, if you're going to start a company, would you think, hey, I'm going to sell 8-inch fry pans? Like, most people wouldn't think that. They'd say, man, I'm going to come out with supplements, or I'm going to come out with a whole new, clothing line. But that's what a lot of people are doing. So you want to find out what a lot of people aren't doing. That's what a leads list is for. It shows you products that will make you money. But if you start with the big brands, you're going to really struggle. I wouldn't start there. I would start with the niches. I hope that answers all the questions. I'm just trying to keep up with them as we go. But back to you, Alan.
That's good, man. The other thing that I look, it's Keepa, and I also have that installed on my browser, so I can just look, have all the information here on my Amazon listing. So I can see right here that $29.97 is actually a low price because they've been selling this for $39.99 for a long time. Now they dropped the price. Of course, the rank went a little bit lower, but if I look at the statistics right here, I can see that the average rank is 17,000 for the last 90 days. So that's a good item. I know I'm gonna get I'm gonna get in and out with a few items, and I'm gonna have a few items to that I'm gonna be able to make profit. So this, to me, this is a good offer, a good item. And if you guys click on the description, you're gonna get access to this document, and you can just look at it and see if you can still get it for $11.24. So let me go back, and we're gonna look at another one. This is another one we found, and this one we found it at Sierra Trading Post, and this is the store, and this is the Amazon listing. And this one is also listed at $29.95. This is at $51,000 on Sports and Outdoors, and they have different colors. It almost looks like a private label product, but if Sierra Trading is selling it, that's gonna be a brand that you can sell. And if you go to the Amazon listing, you can see there's about I think 8 or 9 other sellers. Nine other sellers. So I'm pretty sure this is not a private label, and I can find it at this place for $12.99. That's a 56% discount. It usually sells for $29.95, and it's the same item, the same item. So this is gonna be another one that is a good item. So let's say $12.99. I'm just gonna put $14. I still get $8.24, 28% net profit margin, and 59% ROI, including the dimensions and everything. So this one includes all the shipping and everything from the Amazon FBA fees, and you can see them right here. If you hover over the net price, you're gonna see all of the Amazon FBA fees right there. So this tool gives me a lot of information right on the screen, and that makes the whole process a lot faster. And I know that I can buy and I usually buy 2-3 of each item, so I can get in, sell them and get out.
Alan, I just want to ask a question came up. How long has it taken you to get ungated for certain brands or categories? And I know how long it's taken me. And I'll answer it first, guys. So for me, clothing was a big one because my wife does a lot of clothing. We started doing Arbitrage, then we started our own brand. We had our own websites, and we were just dying to get it on Amazon. So I had been selling on Amazon for over a year when we finally got approved. Now, could I have gotten approved sooner? Yes. When I applied in the early days, there was no approval. When I did apply later, a year later, I got approved literally within minutes. I thought it would take days. So I could have gotten sooner. It doesn't mean it takes a year. I've seen some people do it in a couple months. And what some people will do is they will go buy something really cheap, like doggy poop bags or something from Walmart, like really cheap items, and they'll just resell them on Amazon, make no profit, but they get a lot of sales. so that they have a history of sales in their account and healthy responses to customers, and the customers are happy, so the account health is high, and then it's more easy to get ungated. So some people will use that strategy to get ungated more quickly, but there's no exact answer, perfect life 3. But how has it been for you, Alan, when it comes to getting ungated?
Our experience with a lot of people that we help starting their Amazon business is that most of the time, once you get like 100 sales history, you're gonna start getting some, not everything, but some of the items or categories are gonna start opening up. And for some people, getting to 100 units might take you a month. It might take you a few, 2-3 months, depending on how much you're dedicating to the business and how much you're investing on inventory. But we're starting to see people within the next first 2-3 months, they're gonna start getting access to some of the brands, and within 6 months you're getting. We have people that are getting approved for Nike and the big brands, Adidas, and all of those.
Very helpful, man.
Yeah. So this is all of the information I look. I want to see at least 3 months. In this case, I don't have. Keepa doesn't have a history of sales rank for the whole 3 months, but I can see right here that it's being an average of maybe 65,000, and if I see the statistics, it's actually 46,000 in the last 90 days. So that's gonna give me an idea that the rank is a good rank, especially if 50,000, it's less than 0.5% of that whole category. So that means that this item moves very, very, very good. And then I look at the competition. I want to see that if everybody's selling at 29, one of the things I like to do is I like to see how much they have in inventory. If I can do that, and one of the tools I use, it's called How Many Extension. They give you free tries a day for free, and then after that you can pay for the application. But with this application, what I can do is I can see how much they have in inventory.
Right.
Now the advantage in here, and you're gonna see right here that they won't give me any number, is because, well, actually they did give me numbers, but the advantage in here is that most of these people, all of these people are merchant fulfilled, and there's only one person FBAs. That means that if I come up here at $29.95 as an FBA item, I might have priority over all of these other sellers. And so for me, that's a good deal.
And your chances of winning the buy box is greater. So guys, when you go to a listing and it says add to cart, that means if you add it to cart, whatever third-party seller is being represented, that means they have the buy box. Then if you click on see other sellers below that, like right there, see where it says add to cart? So this seller, Eagle Nest Outfitters, they have the buy box. But if you click on other sellers, that's where you can see what other people are selling. They don't have the buy box. So what Alan was saying, if you're selling Amazon FBA, and guys, if you're selling Amazon.com, but you live in a different country than the US, you have to anyways, unless you want to ship internationally, and there's just no money in that because of the cost of shipping. So if you're selling Amazon FBA, your chances of winning the buy box are greater. There's several things that impact that. The price that you're selling it for, lower prices tend to win it, as well as shipping Amazon FBA, and third, the health of your account. What's beautiful about this, guys, is you can control all 3 of those things. You can control the health, you can control whether or not you're doing Amazon FBA, and you control the price. Now, it isn't a perfect recipe means every time you're going to get the buy box, but as you guys know, if you have the buy box, your conversion rate goes up. If I'm shopping for this, do you think I'm going to look at the other sellers in Amazon? Probably not. I'm just going to hit add to cart right there. Unless there's something really suspicious about this seller, the convenience makes me buy it.
Right. Yeah. So that's basically all of the information that we can get. And I don't know if you want to show
yes,
a sample of the lead list, but that's how we find all of the information here.
Let me give you guys an example of a leads list, and I hope this is really helpful, guys. So you can literally see how we analyze products, either whether we're going out or doing this online or on your seller app or using RevSeller or using Keepa. How do you analyze them? What do you look for to decide if you're going to make money? And just for a moment, before I show you guys something really cool, I'm going to share just one thing. Money is sitting there waiting to be made. Like it's there. It's just a matter of getting active. This morning I was listening to, I don't know how many of you guys like jazz, but Harry Connick Jr. is one of my favorite vocal artists for jazz. The guy's amazing. He's an icon in my opinion. And he has this song in his old album called Red Light, Blue Light. And there's a part, and I'm not going to sing it because I don't want you guys to all leave. I can rap it.
You can click on the thumbnail so we can switch screens.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Sorry about that, guys.
That's right.
And this guy, Harry Connick Jr., he came out with this album called Red Light, Blue Light. And there's this part where he says, with imagination, I'll get there. And then he talks about taking his imagination and he turns it into making a decision. So just for a moment, if you are sitting on the fence, you're just sitting there like, should I do it? I like what Alan's saying. I like what Seth is saying. Should I do it? You need to freaking jump off the fence and start. Money's sitting there to be made. Like we have income. I'm not saying this to brag or to come off. It's not my point. I want to motivate the heck out of you guys and put fire under your ass, okay? Every day we have money coming in, just constantly coming in, just from arbitrage, not to mention private label, which is much, much bigger. Every day we have money coming in, and my wife loves it. Like she loves arbitrage. So she gets to do it she loves, and she makes money. Someone in this chat, I think I can say her name. She doesn't mind. Marion's crushing it. I'm just going to say it. She's crushing it. She's done arbitrage. She's doing private label. She sent me a screenshot the other day. She's a Just One Time Warrior. She's doing awesome. Like she is crushing it, you guys. Big money. She's making it happen. She and Matt. So I just want to encourage you guys, take the step and go do. If you watch this and you don't go do, you just wasted time. And I don't want to do that for you. If you're just watching this for fun, don't watch it. Only watch it if you're going to go do something with it and freaking make money. You literally, like, that's why I did an Instagram live video the other day in the, what we call the KK closet. I call my wife KK, in her closet where she has all her clothing stuff that she loves to sell, to show you guys this is her joy. This is her life. And it just brings in money constantly, not to mention all the other things that I do and other people in my businesses do with me. So if you're thinking about it, go do, okay? A lot of these questions you have, these are great questions. You're going to figure them out as you decide to do them. Now, having said that, I'm going to show you guys something. If you haven't seen this leads list, I'll show it to you right now. Give me 1 second. Brothers and sisters, here we go. All right. Let me know when you can see it.
Yeah,
okay. So here, okay. Well, let me go back here. This is the Just One Dime arbitrage leads list. You can, if you get this, you can cancel at any time. We don't do refunds because there's no refund on the researchers who went and found all the products for you. But every week you will receive 45 high-ranking leads. And I'm about to show you an example of these in that tab right there. These leads rank between 1 to 2% for each product category. In other words, they're high, fast-selling leads. Our idea is if we can get you a lead that moves off the shelf quickly, you generate money fast instead of it sitting there for half a year. The minimum return on your investment is 40%. So if you're going to spend, a certain amount of money, if you're going to spend $10, you should get that back plus at least $4 other bucks. And these are mostly ungated categories. Keep in mind, ungated categories is relevant to the seller. So for some of you guys have more ungated categories than others, but for the most part, they're ungated. And the minimum profit on each item is $7. Now, why do you get 45 every week? That seems like a lot because it constantly changes. So in a week, the price in that could change and you can no longer get it for 10 bucks. Now it went up to $15 when you were on Kohl's.com. Okay. Now let me show you guys an example of what these look like. So here you have the date of the product. And over here you have the item description and then the subcategory if relevant, if it's needed. Then you have more specifics on the item itself. You have the store where you can find it. It's like, where do I go to find this? Well, there you go, guys. We're telling you where to source. Like literally, you don't have to go wonder, oh, I wonder if there's something on Walmart. Oh, I'm going to go to walmart.com and know exactly what I'm looking for. Here's the rank. And guys, notice the ranking of these. The lower the number, the better. So like 10,000, that's insane. That's selling really fast. 3,000 is ridiculous. We recommend as a general rule of thumb under 100,000. Now, if you see some in here that are higher, There's a reason for it. Maybe the profit is high. Maybe there are so many, the sales rate on these is so high, it's still worth it because it's in the top 1% to 2%. But as a general rule of thumb, you're looking at between under 100,000 and even better under 50,000. That means it's going to move quickly. Here's your the category that it's in. Here's your, I think these are off. This is supposed to be the ASIN. This is supposed to be the average price. But anyways, here's your average price over the last 3 months. Here's your highest price history. In other words, let me use this as an example, you guys. If I'm looking at an item and over the last 3 months, its average price that it's been selling for is $50, but the highest it ever sold was 100, but I know I can get this for 22 or 15. This is a very safe item, low risk to get. And here's where you can, where people are purchasing on Amazon, and here's where you can source it. So you literally can go and find it. And then of course you have some other details, you know, like buy one, get one free and stuff like that, if they're relevant. So this is just one example, and you get this 3 times a week. On average, you're going to get about 15 each time. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And my encouragement to you guys is try it and see how it works for you. It's $169 a month. If you don't make that back within a couple weeks, you know, and you're hustling, then we're doing something wrong. But you should be able to make money off of that fast. For me, Alan, it's sort of like PPC ad campaigns. I want to know that it's worth it. And for me to know if it's worth it, it's, in other words, I will spend $5,000 a day if I need to, if I know that's going to make me 20,000, or I'm going to get 20,000 back. If I need to spend 1,000 a day to get, you know, 2,000 back, then I'm going to spend the 1,000 a day. But that's the idea of these leads lists that we're talking about. I'm going to jump back over to the chat here, Alan. Okay, let's see how to figure out how much competition is selling. So did you guys see when Alan shared his screen, he was showing you Keepa, and you could see the price history of what the competition's been doing. And then he also showed you how many sellers are on it. You can use RevSeller to do that. It'll show you how they're doing that. And it also showed you the inventory. If you're talking about replenishables, they're the bee's knees. Thank you so much. No problem, Eilena. I'm really glad that's helpful, you guys. Okay, how to find products from all the millions. How do I find those leads by myself? Ohad, if you're not sure how to do it, join Just One Dime. Alan and Saad will teach you how to do it. They will give you all the steps needed and the tools to teach you how do you find those. Because the way you're thinking, Ohad, is the right way. You ultimately want to be able to find these yourself. If you're starting out, guys, get the leads list and start generating cash. And then as you learn more and more, you can do this yourself. For some people, it's just a time thing. So my wife and I, we use the leads list because it saves us time. We know how to find products, but if we can find really good products we don't have to spend time on, that's worth it. I'd rather make that money quickly than spend the time waiting. In other words, having to find it myself. Anthony just purchased his first product, the red copper 8-inch fry pan. I think he's a customer.
Awesome.
Hey, what's up, Gail? Good to see you. Nice. I'm glad you're able to comment. How do I do this from outside the US? Okay, Alan, could you elaborate? Because this list is for Amazon.com. But remember, guys, if you're in the UK, if you're in Australia or South America, and we have people all over the world, 89 countries doing this, you can sell on Amazon.com. We show you how to set that up in our training program. You're not limited based on your country. But is there anything you want to add to that, Alan? Because this question is coming up quite a bit because we have so many people from different places.
The main thing that you have to remember is if you're out of the country, you're gonna need somebody or a place where you're gonna receive your products from all of these different stores. You receive them in this place, they prep it, they make sure everything's good, they put your labels and send them to Amazon. That's what we call a prep center. And they're gonna charge you, $1, $1.10, $1.20 for each item. But they're gonna do all the work for you, and they're gonna make sure that the quality is good, that there's nothing broken, and and they're gonna receive all of your products and then send them to Amazon. So what you do is you shop. Your main focus is, shopping, buying products, sending them to your prep center, and then they'll take care of the rest. And then once they're on Amazon, they'll do the rest of the process, which is gonna be all the marketing and customer service.
Someone here is 13 years old, Kalina. Can I still do this business? 100% you can. My youngest is 14. All of my kids are entrepreneurs. They all sell online in different ways and for different products. So yeah, you can. Just make sure when you set up your Seller Central app that you're doing it through your parent or guardian, because they're going to require their ID, their information, their credit card info in order to register it under an adult. But yes, 100%, you can still do the work. Alan, I don't remember if I mentioned this to you or not, but when I was in Los Angeles, one of the coolest stories, you guys, someone wanted to have a one-to-one with me. And sometimes we offer one-to-one sessions that people pay for. And this dad came in with his daughter, and we sat down. And I mean, she is running the business. He's there just to support and help. She is crushing it online, doing arbitrage on Amazon. And she's not an adult, but she's making it happen. And dad's there just for approval and to support. And so they just had a ton of questions about Amazon arbitrage. And that's all we focused on. So yes, 100%. And man, if I could go back and start when I was 13, oh my goodness, I would be much more than a millionaire.
Yeah, I know. That's awesome, man.
Let's see, please, how can I find leads that work in the UK? So we don't currently have a leads list in the UK, AO. We do it for Amazon.com. And the other thing to keep in mind, guys, if you're looking for cash quickly, you're going to get sales much faster Amazon.com. We actually have students living in different parts of the world, but they're selling Amazon.com using a prep center, as we mentioned. Let's see, accountants registered from Australia. Let's start OA with Jod from Afghanistan. Nice. We're getting as out there as we can. I love it. It's going to get interesting when Seth's kids attend business and economics class in high school. Yeah, Brian, here's the crazy thing, man. 2 of them are practically out of high school already. It goes by so freaking fast, man. Svetlana says, will you buy an item doing retail arbitrage if the BSR is more than 300,000? Very rarely. In most cases, I wouldn't. But what are your thoughts on that, Alan?
Yeah, it's going to be a high rank, and even on the biggest categories is pretty high up there. Yeah. I always try to, if I couldn't calculate the percentage, I would stay 100,000 or less. But if I can, if I'm in front of the computer and I can see the percentage, I can go up to 2% of the category.
Right.
But if I don't have that information, 100,000 or less is going to be my rule.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you don't want it sitting there too long, you guys. That's the key is time is money. And the longer it takes, the more money you're going to lose out as a result of that. Let's see. AMNS says, I had many times that after I send the product to FBA, Amazon changes the listing to inactive and I had to request approval. What would you suggest to do this in this case? I would contact Amazon and ask them what's happening there. And my question is it your listing or are you listing on a listing in Amazon's catalog already? Because that's also going to have a huge impact on whether or not they're going to change that listing. If it's already been there for a while, I don't understand. If it's your listing, it could be there's something wrong with the listing, like your main photo doesn't meet the requirements or something in the back end, is breaking a rule. So I would actually call them and ask them, hey, guys, what's going on? And they should be able to help you with that.
And if you're doing arbitrage, what I will do is I will list it on my phone and just keep browsing, keep shopping. And right before you finish shopping, you can check. And if Amazon already closed it, then don't buy it.
Right.
Or if now it shows restricted, then you know right in there, and you can just take it off your shopping cart.
Yeah, because if it's arbitrage, it's not worth your time. If it's not your listing, right. That's a really good point. How much can people make with arbitrage? The highest I've ever seen is several million a month. A friend in New York has a whole team of like 15 employees, and he's insane. I know, if I can say this, Alan's done hundreds of thousands. My wife and I have done tens of thousands, and on the higher end, like 60, 70 per year. So it's going to depend on the people. The guys teaching the course, Alan and Saad, they're ninjas. Like they've done this for years. They're awesome at it. So yeah, there's no limit. The only limit, guys, is time. And again, back to leads list, that'll save you time. Hire employees, it'll save you time. You need to be able to scale. That's the key.
I have a friend that he makes about 180,000 a month, and I always thought that was like, that's a number that it's always really hard for me to imagine. And then I met your friend that makes about $1 million or more than $1 million a month.
Yeah,
and I was so impressed because those are numbers that are really huge.
Yeah. And it goes back to saying, guys, remember, everyone started somewhere, right? So you have to start somewhere. So it's not a matter of if you can. Of course you can. The question is, Are you willing to do what it takes to get there? Are you willing to take ownership so you can make it happen? All right, a ton of questions, but I have to run, guys, because I'm doing an interview literally in 5 minutes. One of our Just One Dime students reached 1,000 a week, and so we're going to interview him. You guys will see it soon on YouTube and be able to share how we did this through private label. I'm going to post the link here one more time. If you guys are looking for a leads list, and this would be helpful to you, go get that. It's $169 a month. You can cancel anytime. You will get 45 fresh leads every single week. And the idea is to de-risk you and make it easier for you to make money selling on Amazon doing arbitrage. Alan, thank you so much for being here, brother.
Thank you, man. My pleasure. And I'm always happy to share with the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I hope this has provided a ton of value for the last hour. Just tips and whatever you're doing. So wherever you guys are in the world, go to apply it. Go do it, you guys. And if the leads list is going to help you, sign up now. See you guys later. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.